The following program is rated PG. Parental guidance is advised, as the theme or content may not be suitable for all children. Viewer discretion is advised.
I'm out on the road. We're in Naramata, up on the bench. I've got Renee behind the camera. We've got a fellow named Daniel who's standing off screen, but you're going to be seeing him coming in, and I was going to say coming in and cutting the cheese, but that has so many meanings. Coming in and slicing cheese for us and pouring wine. And I'm here with the proprietors of Upper Bench Winery and Creamery. Have I got that right?
You do.
It's Shana and Gavin.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to be asking them questions about all sorts of things. So please stay tuned. And we're going to be trying some of Shana's amazing cheeses and Gavin's wines. All right. So just to start off, why don't you two introduce yourself and where you grew up? And you're going to have to share the whack-a-mole thing there and bring it pretty close to your face. It does feel like a whack-a-mole palette, doesn't it? Yeah, we can just start belting cheeses by the end of it. All right, so yeah, tell us about where you're from.
Well, I'm Gavin Miller. I grew up in England, just west of London, actually very near Windsor, Heathrow area. I moved to London in my 20s and spent 10 really good years there, and then actually flew to Canada and met Shana here.
And on his first visit to Canada.
Right in Penticton here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
My first visit to Canada.
The night he flew in, actually. Was it the night you flew in? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was the night I flew in, yeah. My friend picked me up at the airport, bought me a beer and told me, I've got this girl you should meet. No, not into that.
Oh, your friend is so fast.
He was very fast.
But the catch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you got to grab that while you can.
I went back to his house, met his new wife, and then there was Shana, and the rest is kind of history.
Yeah.
That's really lovely.
There is a longer version. But
There is.
Did you have a background in, because they are growing some wine grapes now in the south of England.
I had a background in drinking wine.
Drinking wine.
Yeah.
Very good. He was very good at drinking.
So you're a professional drinker.
No, my history in the UK was actually exhibitions and displays and graphics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So did you do
manager for a company producing
graphics
displays.
for here?
No, but my friend who I used to work with did everything for us.
James
Atkins.
James Atkins designs the
Wow.
He did.
Yeah, they're so beautiful.
Everything for us here. As soon as he found out we had our own business, which was
Very nice.
20 years after, probably 15 years after we left, he did everything for us. Yeah.
Oh, how nice!
Yeah.
How nice! All right, and
I
let's hear about you.
grew up on the east coast of Canada, so I was born and raised in Nova Scotia. Shout out to Nova Scotia!
Yay, Nova Scotia!
And
you speak any Gaelic?
No, I actually don't.
Huh.
I do not speak any Gaelic. I think my name is Yiddish, but it's a Gaelic word as well, Shana, and it means to squeeze your cheeks or pretty or something like that.
Does it mean that
I think
in
it means
Yiddish
pretty.
and in Gaelic?
And in Gaelic.
No, it's in Hebrew. It means
Hebrew.
beautiful,
Okay.
I think, or pretty. Yeah.
So I was
I don't know
born and
about
raised in Nova Scotia. I went back and forth from Quebec for a few years, and then someone one day said, one of my friends said, it's warm in BC, and I get to 40-degree weather in the summertime, and I'm like, I had my bags packed so quickly, and I was in my vehicle coming across that country so fast. And
You drove?
I drove across, drove across from Montreal. So I started in Montreal, went back home to see my family, went to Newfoundland to see my mom, then drove across the country. Took my time, took my 4 cats and my sister, Carolee, and off we went across the country and ended up in Penticton,
Okay.
And my aunt that was living here, Aunt Janine, she was living here, and she put an ad in the paper for me to find a place that would have 5 cats.
Oh.
Right?
5 cats.
5 cats.
I thought there were 4 cats.
4 cats. 4 or 5 cats.
4 cats and a
had
sister.
Many cats and a sister.
Sister might also be a cat.
She's part cat. She likes dogs a lot too, and horses actually. She's an animal person.
Oh, you're going to need a big pad for that.
So I ended up renting a room at what was the original Poplar Grove. So everybody and their dog knows Poplar Grove Winery.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Well, on that they used to have a little cabin before they built the other winery, and I lived on the cabin. And my roommate's best friend is best friends with Gavin's.
Uh-oh.
So
And was that the one?
that's
Who
the
made
one
the connection?
Who made the connection?
Uh-huh.
And said would be a good couple.
Oh,
And
my
so it was all
goodness.
these, and it's so funny because the person's room I was renting there, she knew Gavin
Oh.
from the UK when they were teenagers.
A little bizarre. isn't
You're
it?
pretty much
very-
destined.
Well, there is a little bit of history because I came out to visit a friend who had come out here and married a girl. He came out to visit a friend.
Oh, yeah.
That's,
And they were my
yeah, so
roommates.
there is reason behind it.
Yeah.
And the sister of the 4th friend was one I knew from England.
See, we're going to need wine. We need wine just to
I
keep
really,
going this story.
I need a map. We should be writing it out here.
Version. You saw that at the beginning.
Oh, no.
That was 28 years ago.
Yeah.
28 years ago, and two
Okay.
kids later, and a winery. So
2 kids
Yeah.
in a winery.
Yeah.
And were you making cheese back in Nova Scotia?
No, not Nova Scotia. I was making cheese in BC earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been making cheese. I probably started my cheese making journey in early 2000s or 2002, probably 2003. I started making cheese. Yeah.
Wow.
So in 2010, this building went for sale, and
In
we
2011.
scraped everything we could
Okay.
together to.
So you bought the place. What did you say?
We bought the place from the receiver.
Oh, okay.
This place, I guess I've been working as a winemaker for probably almost 15 years, and really wanted to do something. Well, we wanted to do something on our own. Shane had been making cheese before as well, but by the time we got this, was doing something else. And this place, there were 8 wineries came in receivership when a sort of a group went under, and I drove past this one every day and thought, hey, great bones, because it's the only one that was actually built as a winery.
Location.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the location as well,
Well,
fantastic.
yeah, you're right on the
So
big road.
we went and went talked to our realtor and said, "Can we sell our house and buy this?" And he kind of laughed a little bit, said, "Not without significant investment from someone else." Yeah. So we actually went out and we went through a list of people who, and we got very close to doing it with some people, and that fell through. And in the end, we ended up. I ended up bumping into an old friend called Wayne, who was next to the old Poplar Grove where we both worked. And he asked, what was I doing? I said, well, actually, Wayne, I'm looking to buy a winery. Oh, and he said, well, let me take your number. And I just got back from Hawaii, and anyway, he went through the checkout, and
his wife's got her trolley of groceries, and she's like, "Come on, Wayne, come on, Wayne, step down."
Anyway, and he phoned me that night.
Wow.
And we had discussions for about a month, and then we put a bid in.
Yeah.
Whew.
And then because we put a bid in, we got
wild.
called to the
The courts.
the courts at
Vancouver?
the Supreme Court in Vancouver, and then we
Does
were
that
offered,
happen when anybody buys a winery?
Well, no, only when you buy off the receiver.
Oh,
So
I
you had
Because
to
it's
see.
a
go
court-appointed sale.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
had to go in, and you had to bid. So there was others bidding against us. So it was a snowstorm, and our realtor Julius
So fun.
Yeah.
and Gav, they drove to
We
Vancouver.
went all the way down into Vancouver in this freezing cold weather. And,
Over the mountains
and,
and
and
snowstorm.
We'd actually-
February 11th.
we'd actually gone down with 2 checks because you have to pay for it that day. And we got down, yes, exactly. You can imagine, yeah. I was a little nervous.
I'm sweating. I'm getting nervous just thinking.
My instructions were use whichever check you think is the one we're going to need to get it. So and it was more people than we thought, so I used the big one, and we only won it by $40,000. So we wouldn't have got it with a little one. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, so we're very lucky. So
That's amazing.
then Wayne, we tell him that we won, and he says, "Well, I guess now we're having a baby." So
Actually?
now it's it's
No.
coming through, right?
I was like, well, that's a successful
Right,
trip.
that's what it feels like, right? You're
Yeah.
starting again, and now you're just
Oh.
going to build something. So then we
Yeah.
took a good year to renovate.
Mm-hmm.
Year and a half. Took us a year to renovate, then another 6 months. Like we had to
Wow.
build product, I'd make cheese. And
Yes.
Yeah. So
build-
2010, 2011 we did our first harvest here.
Okay.
And then we opened our doors in 2012, May 2012. Yeah.
That must have been very stressful in that interim when you have no income, really, do you? Or are you selling, because you're not selling grapes off to anybody else?
No, we didn't have any grapes because we bought from the receiver.
Okay.
Well, Shana at the time was working. I wasn't.
All right.
I'd done a party company with the winery I was with before.
We were just too busy renovating.
Yeah, and we started a company,
yeah.
and that company, we obviously had to have investment in that company in order to renovate this.
Right.
So that paid me.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we had to not only buy a winery, we have to start a corporation, etc.,
Right.
etc.
Right. So anybody that's thinking this is easy, they should
No, it's not easy. No.
pop up and talk
No,
to you guys.
It's like romantic. It's really romantic.
Yeah, it is. Like just early mornings out in the vines,
that's
welcoming guests to your beautiful tasting room.
Chasing the deer.
Chasing. Oh, do you have some nibbly deer out there?
They're there every day.
Every day.
Yeah, we're used to them.
Every
it's
winery
hard.
I've worked
Yeah.
in,
It's
it's
farming. It's not.
been
Yes,
deer.
we're farmers.
It's hard work.
Farmers, crafters.
Yes,
artisans.
yeah. Have you heard about the bear that lives at a winery in Kelowna?
No.
East Kelowna? Yeah, they have a bear. And it's just a resident bear. And it kind of has its area that it eats. And
They let it eat it.
they all, well, they can't. It's a bear. What are you going to do? Shove off, boy, and he
Yeah.
won't. Yeah, so let's just describe to anybody watching who hasn't been here how to get here. So you're coming in from Penticton. I just use,
Well, to be honest, if you're coming in from the highway, just carry straight on. The highway
Yeah.
turns. If you don't veer off to the right where the highway goes and carry straight on to Eckhart,
yeah.
you'll eventually wind your way up right to us.
Yeah, and
Eckhart and
the
Johnson
name
up
of
the
your
hill.
street is
Yeah.
also
Upper
the name
Bench.
of your
Oh, quite, yeah.
winery.
Upper
Yeah.
Bench Winery. On
Upper Bench, yeah.
Upper Bench
Road in
Road,
Penticton.
south.
So
Yeah. We're about
we
2
all
minutes.
memorize that.
Yeah.
We're about 2 minutes from downtown Penticton, so we walk. We actually can walk to town. We walk to town
Oh,
often. so
nice.
if you wanted to walk, you could.
Do you
easily
get
walk.
cycling tours or anything through here?
We get all sorts
get
of
that,
tours
yeah?
through here.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Naramata bench, yes. Busy.
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
well prepared.
So some of the wine tours, like the big buses, will
Yeah.
come through here as well?
We don't particularly like the big buses here because you see we've not got a huge parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have some of the smaller buses here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did experiment early on with the bigger buses, but just found they basically they block the building.
Yeah, yeah. And you've got quite an intimate space here in the
That's right.
tasting room.
And
But then you have a patio.
yes, we
do.
do.
Right, so a really nice patio where we would be filming, but it's freezing today. I just stood out there.
The patio is actually open. There's people on it.
There are 6 people out
They're
there enjoying
very-
the sun.
Very hardy. Well, they're wearing parkas.
Yes, they are wearing parkas. You're right. And
We're-
they probably really need parkas.
They're drinking
so.
wine, eating cheese. They're drinking wine, eating cheese. They're happy as clams.
That's right.
It's all good.
So what's the big blue thing I see out
The
there?
big blue thing is a big pizza oven. In 2017,
Okay.
we were approached by a local gentleman who wanted to set up pizza on our patio, and
So we put in a Forno
Yeah.
Bravo,
Forno
6-foot
Oh,
gorgeous pizza oven.
yeah,
Gavin
it's
and I
beautiful.
went to pizza school.
We
Down
did.
in California. We learned how to make Neapolitan style.
There's a pizza
thin-
school?
Yep.
there's actually
There's-
4 or 5 of the Neapolitan pizzas making schools, and there's about
In the
4 or
world.
5 of them. One in
In the
Mexico
world.
City, one in Tokyo, one obviously in Naples.
Thank you. Good.
And one in
and
Somewhere
Los
in
Angeles.
California? In Los
California.
Angeles?
Inglewood, really
Inglewood.
nice place of California.
Oh, yeah, we lived in Culver City for a while.
we went to pizza school. we
Inglewood
learned how
has
to-
some nice places,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the pizza school.
Yeah, pizza school.
We risked our life going to pizza school on a daily basis, I suppose.
It was loads of fun. We had loads of fun. We had loads of fun. We went with another local guy. He was a Woodwood Pizzeria here in town, and he's a pizzaioli as well. He went with us, Daniel.
Yeah, so since 2017 we've been running the patio as a pizza oven, and then the last few years we've actually been doing seated tastings where you can add a pizza to it afterwards. And I believe this year we're going to, all going well, we're going to be incorporating some baked cheese dishes as well.
Oh, we started playing with baked cheeses.
Uh-huh.
So not only do you do the seated guided tastings, so you sit down, you'll be guided through 4 or 5 wines paired with our cheese, 2 or 3 pieces of cheese, and then if you wanted to book in to stay for pizza, you could book in and stay for pizza. So it's last year we started playing with baking whole rounds of cheese.
Oh my
so
gosh.
we did one of the, and we wrapped it in prosciutto and baked it so it was crispy. So when you broke into it,
Oh, it crackled and oozed?
crackled and oozed. The crackling and oozing was fantastic. And then we did another one with the brie, but we put chocolate in it. and melted it and served it with fresh fruit.
Oh.
My goodness, when we did that, when we brought that out to because if you're here on the patio and when we're experimenting, you get to taste the flavors that we come up with. So
Oh my gosh.
it was actually a birthday group. They just happened to have a birthday that day, and we were making it anyways. We bring it over, and they were just in cheese and chocolate heaven.
No kidding. I don't go
Love
disguise myself as a deer and just hang out in the vines.
You might
Wait.
get chased.
Yeah,
Come
probably
after
get
you.
shot at. Local farmers. All right, we could start with our first wine and cheese combo, and I'll just keep asking you questions as we
ahead.
go. Yeah.
And what do we have here? I think we're going to start the tasting with our 2021
2021.
Chardonnay.
Are you cellaring everything right here?
We have a warehouse just across the road, which we actually keep
Oh,
most
great.
of the finished product in.
Okay.
But all the barrels are kept here.
Oh,
All
okay.
the barrels and the bulk wine is on site here.
Ah, nice.
Chardonnay's actually been one of our most awarded wines over the years.
Nice. So you do send it off to competition.
Yeah,
We haven't
less so
done-
these days.
yeah.
We have a lot in the past. We're getting our bottles got
Thank
started
you.
getting full. You see.
Yeah, you're. When you do come here, you'll look over at their sort of in the tasting area, and they've got a whole bunch of these guys all sitting, and they're all draped in medals. So some of them look like they can barely stand up. They've got so much. Like who's that fourth from the left?
I think
That's
that's a Chardonnay.
That's a
It's Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
That's a very early Chardonnay.
Yeah, it's
from
one of the
actually,
first.
I think that might be the first year we made Chardonnay because that medal on the front was a Battle of the Benches, which was in 2012.
Wow.
First-
Looks like you
first
knocked it out of
events.
the
We
park.
did.
That
We
must
were-
have been such a
We were
relief,
happy.
Oh,
right?
Well, he's been making wine
I've
for a
been
long
making wine
time.
for a long
So
So
you weren't
we-
worried?
No.
no, not
Okay.
not about the winemaking.
Oh, I
I
worry about
many
everything.
things, but
Not that. That one you're okay.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
make wine too, as I say. I put my 10,000 hours in here well before we got this place.
Oh, good. So you weren't worried about the winemaking. That's a big relief. And
No,
you
and-
wouldn't have
and
been
the,
worried
uh,
about
I-
the cheese.
No.
There's just other stuff.
It's
We ran a
just
business. We've never run a
business.
business. We've always
Yeah.
not made wine lots, but always for other people.
Oh, the
And run
quality
vineyards
of
for other
this.
people.
I'm smelling it from a foot away. Yeah.
And we believe in truth in labeling. So again, all of our labels designed by James Atkins in the UK, and we believe in truth in labeling. So you look at any of our labels. I think the
nice.
earlier ones we might have had the love story on it,
Yeah, the
but
early ones
later
did,
on
yeah.
we you can tell that story why you wanted to do the truth in labeling, but we want you to be able to see it, and we
Yeah.
believe in truth in labeling. and
Exactly.
we're not using plastics. We're using stainless steel. We're using oak.
Okay.
And we tell you how much sugar we're in.
Wow.
This
And
is
what
vegan.
your oaking program is right on the bottle.
Yep.
So 50% French oak, 100% new, 3 months. Oh, you've got your pH, your residual sugar.
What we tend to do with the Chardonnays, it just says 50%. We actually ferment and age 50% of it in brand new French oak for 3 months,
And the other.
and then it go and the rest it gets fermented and aged in stainless sur-lee. So we're actually stirring the lees to give it
Yeah.
texture as well. And then after the 3 months, we blend it back together, age it for a little longer, and then bottle it. And those barrels actually then go into the Pinot Noir program. 'Cause
Oh,
it
okay.
just breaks the barrels in nicely for that.
Right.
But it really gives a really clean oak as well. And we don't put the Chardonnay through malolactic fermentation.
Oh,
Most Chardonnays and like all red wines go through malolactic fermentation, a fermentation that
This one.
turns malic acid or like green apple, Granny Smith apple acid into lactic acid, so milk butter acid, which gives it that sort of. Chardonnay is often referred to as buttery
Right.
and rich.
right.
I tend not to do that.
That's live. We've got people. Carry on. So you're preserving your fruit taste, but you're not covering it?
Yeah, prefer not to do that. I love acidity. I think a white wine should make you, should hit you here when you have it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Food-friendly wines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like cheese.
So the
Absolutely.
Chardonnay's got great flavour profile, but doesn't have that sort of overwhelming, how to say, richness, if you like, that
Yeah,
so many
yeah.
Chardonnays do.
Yeah, it could be a bit more fruity and flinty.
Yes.
rather than
Absolutely.
the big butter ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Quite.
Yeah, I find that style is almost hard to find now. Like we're really over oaking, over mallowing it.
It's certainly going away, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
But I mean, there's still a fear of oak out there.
There is, yeah, true enough, true enough. So I definitely want to
Cheers.
try this.
Cheers.
Cheers. What would you say are the tasting notes we have?
I always find gooseberry on this. So some butterscotch.
Mm-hmm. And the butterscotch, that's coming from your oak, is that?
It's coming from the oak, yeah.
Are you using all French oak with
Yes,
all of your
we
line?
only use French oak.
Okay, so none of that aggressive American.
No, don't like it. Don't think it really does a great deal for Okanagan fruit, except I hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, Okanagan fruit.
I understand.
We've got good acidity. But
Yeah.
To be honest, when I have in the past used American oak, it has been to on wines that maybe could. Let's edit this.
None of that.
So it's maybe not.
Not at Upper Bench. And
No, we
not
don't use it.
something
We have never used any American oak upper bench. I mean, it's a taste thing. But I don't think it's. I think it overpowers Okanagan.
Yeah.
Okanagan wine.
Yeah. I could see if you had a very short season and your grapes didn't quite ripen to the extent that you might want to add a little extra spice or something from the American oak. Yeah, I have been in wineries where I've seen, giant bags of raw sugar just being scooped in and things like that. Like there's some wackadoodle practices that.
I mean, ultimately,
he's seen a lot.
Yeah, I
He's
have
worked-
seen a lot.
yeah.
I mean, we tend not to do anything like that here. All the wine's dry. We have our own
diabetic
vineyards.
type
We've
wine.
got them. They ripen, so we don't have any need to add sugar to get more alcohol.
Well, you're
In
up
fact,
here.
I would quite the opposite. I want less alcohol.
Right. So you're putting the brakes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're having to pick a little bit early, otherwise we're getting 15-16% alcohol, which
Yeah.
is not what we want at all.
So when you're getting ready to pick your chard, are you tasting it for
Daily.
the end notes? Or
Yeah.
at what are you looking for when you're tasting it daily to say, this is the moment?
Secret.
Tell me your secrets.
Well, the Chardonnay generally is the first one to ripen on our vineyard here, and first of all, you start seeing the skins on ours actually turn brown. I mean, it's a white grape, but the skins get quite burnt in the sun.
They get little freckles on them, and then the seeds start to go burn.
Yeah, and then again, I'll taste them, eat them. They get so sweet in the end that it's hard to actually taste true amount of flavour. Because what you can see is the development of the seeds. Like
Okay.
you'll see that the seeds are brown,
Right.
which means tannins are ripe.
Okay.
And that's really how I pick on a combination of obviously flavour, sugar, acid, and tannin ripeness.
Have you ever had them go overripe to your specifications?
No, again, this
You're
is
on it.
No, we're on it.
It's
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
his jam.
Yeah.
He has to be on it.
We're on it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Should we taste this?
Oh yeah.
Cheers
Tell me
with
what
it.
we have with it. What is this?
We have our Upper Bench Gold. So this is our flagship cheese. So this is a washed rind cheese, meaning we wash the cheese, the outside of the rind.
Here, I'll move all these things out of the way so Renee can.
So
how
we
cute
wash
it is.
the outside until we start to develop this bacteria. This is called a bee linen. This gives it this funky orange color.
Is it on the front as well?
It's on the whole entire
The
outside
whole
of the cheese.
thing.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
wash that whole. So they're about 2 kilograms per cheese per wheel. We make about 54 of them per batch of cheese, and we just keep bathing him in a nice saltwater bath until he develops this gorgeous dark orange rind. It can be light orange to dark orange depending on the age of the cheese. This guy was made back in November, so he's nice. He's perfectly aged for today. He's lovely and aged, and
Wow.
he's similar to an Oka. If I had to compare him, he's my own creation.
Okay.
As there's thousands of cheeses in the world, so he's just my own variation of what to me a washed rind is. So let's dive in.
That's
and
beautiful.
have a
Okay,
taste
now
of
how
it.
are you going to cut this? And you're going to cut it.
It's gonna go in, and it's nice, and always bring your cheese up to room temperature, and then let it warm up. So if you like stronger, eat the rind. If you don't like so strong, you don't have to eat the rind. And you can just use your fingers, or you can use a fork.
I'll go with the fork.
So they like it to do a little bit of wine, then cheese, then wine. That's how they get you to do it in the tastings, isn't it?
And your color on your wine is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a jewel.
And probably the wine, the gold, the upper bench gold, and the Chardonnay is probably one of our top pairings, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're doing the 5 top ones today, of course, aren't we?
That's wonderful.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. It's like silk.
butter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like so smooth.
That's a nice batch.
Yeah, a buttery Chard and this would be just...
No, it wouldn't work, would it?
No, no.
But you need because you need that acid to cut through.
Yeah.
Cut through the fat and the cheese.
Yeah. It would be like listening to two people singing in unison, but one isn't quite. It'd be that, oh, this is amazing. It's harmony. I want to try a bit with the rind. I don't know if Renee can get a close look on the texture. How are you doing over there? Good? So fantastic. You guys are so good at what you do.
Thank you.
We've been doing it 13 years.
Yeah, we've been running business for 13
This
years.
business 13 years, yeah. In 2002, I started, geez, we've been making wine since...
The 90s, yeah.
Yeah, I had a bit of a
90s.
break
Yeah.
between mine. He's always been doing that.
You had a cheese break?
I did.
That's the best kind of break. Only if you get cheese in your break. All right.
Should take
So we can just tip those out. So when people come up here for a tasting experience, how can they get their best experience? What should they be prepared to learn or to sample?
That's a good question. They should probably be prepared to join our wine and cheese club.
Yes.
You
You have a cute name, don't you?
We have the Corks and Curds Club.
Corks and
Yeah.
Curds. Yeah.
So we send out quarterly shipments directly to people's homes, and we've paired. So we pair what wines we're releasing to cheeses that go with it. So we craft cheese just for that wine.
So you've got the
release.
pairing nailed for
We
them.
have it nailed.
Nobody needs to worry that
They
they're
get a
going to
little
screw it
recipe
Get
up.
a recipe.
Oh.
Yeah, the ones I just did, we did a puck. So we make these gorgeous little rock hard little pucks, and they are great for grating.
Oh.
They are so. It's
Okay.
So the original idea is from a cheese, a European cheese called Bel. It's called the Bel Cannoli. And thank you, Daniel. And so we did our own version, and so our last club got this. So it's a ravioli and cream sauce, and it's with grated pepper puck. So we made these. Oh, they're so, and it matches your jumper perfectly.
I could wear it as pendant.
You can smelly pendant because they're good.
Oh, I like it.
You're taking them home. So
Could be my new signature scent.
you grate them. So
Okay.
we take the fresh curd
Yeah.
and we let it drain we let it drain, and then we mix garlic in it and salt, and then we roll it in. We have 3 different versions. We have a pepper, and we have one that's paprika, and we have the herb de Provence. Herb de Provence is just such a nice, fragrant, really, in that pairing. We actually have club members get the recipe, do the recipe, take pictures of the wine and the cheese together.
We forgot our whack-a-mole.
and they post it to our Facebook pages and on our Instagram.
Oh,
It's really
okay.
awesome. Yeah.
Huh. Do they identify that it's a customer picture?
Do I?
Do they?
Well, they have their little name, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I did this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Hard
And another
unripened
thing,
grating cheese. This is such a cool
it
idea.
is a fantastic, and they're shelf stable, so they stay on your counter. So I have all 3 at home at my house, and I keep it in a mason jar right where I keep my salt, my pepper, so it's right there.
Okay.
I put it on popcorn. I put it on scrambled eggs in the morning, soup,
Ooh.
salad. We did it on pork chops the other day, and it
Wow.
was woohoo, gorgeous.
Yeah, you even have all the nutrition facts on the back.
Well, we are licensed federally, so we're licensed with the Canadian
You
Food
got to then,
Inspection
yeah.
Agency, and we are Safe Food for Canadians registered as well. So we are doing everything to keep Canadians
Oh,
safe.
yeah.
And yeah, we love that little cheese.
Well,
It's
in
lovely to-
transparency, people know what they're eating.
Yeah.
That's amazing. This is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thanks for bringing that over, Daniel.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known what she was talking about.
So that's a good that's a good follow-up to your original question. Is what do
Yeah.
people expect? So they expect pizza, friendly staff. We've got friendly
Yeah.
staff. We've got an old puppy out back that's usually around to say hello to people.
Oh,
We've
winery
got the
dog.
wine tasting. We've got pizza, club to join.
I think
Yeah.
come with an open mind.
Yeah.
To be fair, we've had so many people in here coming. I don't want Riesling, it's sweet, or Chardonnay.
Anything but Chardonnay.
Anything but Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
to be
come
honest, we make the wines and cheeses, and we make them in a style that we like. I hope we have good taste. I mean, we seem to do. I have all the medals and whatever.
Yes, you have.
Yeah. So
You're all right.
So yeah, please just come with an open mind. You know, the staff don't want to hear anything but Chardonnay. They want to. They want to try it
Yeah.
and
yeah.
experience what the good the pairing with it. Yeah, and so
Because it makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
It's wine tasting is for everyone. You don't have to be 50 to enjoy a bottle of wine. You can be 20, 23. Like it's and you're never wrong with what you think
Right.
what you're tasting. You're
If you
not
like
wrong,
it or you
so-
don't like it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that is fine. There's a lot of wine out there in the world, so we just want you not to be intimidated when you come here.
Yeah.
It's a welcoming space. We're welcoming people. It's just a beverage. It's
Yep.
just a beverage, and ask as many questions as you want because we've got a capable staff that are here to answer any questions that people have.
When I worked, I'm going to give you the whack-a-mole. When I did Daniel's job, I loved it when people came in and it was their first time ever wine tasting. It was like,
Okay.
oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is so fantastic because this is the beginning of a journey that has no bottom. Like you can just dig forever. And, my journey has taken me into learning Napoleonic wine laws. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, it's part of certification with the MasterCard.
Okay.
You just had to know all this stuff
Yeah.
and how negociants work and things like that. So much interest in whatever you're curious about in the wine world.
Well, I
There's,
mean, European wine world is so complex.
it is so complex, and how something, this is a clone, no doubt, of something that's happening in, where are you getting your clones? It's Bordeaux?
Well, Chardonnay would come from Burgundy.
Burgundy, yeah, for the Chardonnay, but you have a lot of other
To be honest,
things.
we didn't plant our vineyard, we bought it, so I don't know where they came from.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't even know the clones because there was no record.
Oh,
Who
that's
planted
bizarre.
it. I got a good idea of rootstocks, but as I say, not
Yeah.
total clones. But I mean, certainly they would have been brought over from European.
But it's going to be so
Stocks.
different over here because
Absolutely.
we are different.
Yeah.
Even like where you are, every few meters can be different.
Well, we grow Riesling and Cabernet Sauvignon in the same vineyard. I mean,
See, that's
that
bonkers.
That doesn't make
Yeah,
sense,
yeah.
does it? And they both ripen and they both do well.
Yeah.
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 So no, I mean this area, we can grow so many different things in so many little pockets, like little tiny microclimates everywhere.
Yeah.
On this bench.
We're
Yeah.
very,
So
very
fascinating.
It's a really special area, the Naramata bench, and we actually are in sub-GI. The bench is in sub-GI with a few other properties on this side.
Okay.
That got
So it's the
recognized.
whole bench.
Whole bench.
The whole bench is a sub?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
From
that's
here to-
just areas that have
Armenian rock.
common characteristics. Yeah. And so that if you were in Oliver, you would know that the wines would have, or the area of the terroir would have different common characteristics than up over here.
They have how many now sub-GIs are there?
Oh, in BC?
It's about 7 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Ours
Yeah, at
starts
first it was
here.
just a few.
Yeah.
Ours starts here and it ends at Indian Rock.
So the whole of
Oh,
the
the
bench.
yeah. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. All right, can we have the next one come up? And we
It's
can
only this
use
one.
these.
So I'm starting to say the other side too. Please don't say that.
It's the whole of the Naramata bench.
The whole bench, all right. Okay, can you close in on his technique? And
Thank
then
you,
wonder why we get carpal tunnel syndrome. But did you see how Daniel didn't drop a drip? He twisted at the end. You're very smooth. Daniel's smooth like cheese. All right, so tell us about the rosé.
The rosé is brand new, just bottled. It was bottled about a month ago.
Well.
We actually made more rosé than we've ever made before this year. Comes from some very young vines. We bought the grapes from just over the road here from our friend Neil. It is a blend of Pinot Noir and Gamay. Tend to use either Pinot Noir, Gamay, or Cabernet Franc to make rosés. And often in the past we've made rosés from juice we've bled off of red wines. If you're making a red wine, you put all the grapes, all the juice into a big vat, and the skins effectively give it the colour. Red grapes have white juice, so the skins have to be there in order for the juice to turn red. So what in the past and traditionally how rosés were made was, in order to get a deeper colour in the red wine, you'd skim off or drain off some of the juice before it went dark, therefore allowing more skin to juice ratio for the big big red wine, and hence that would be a rosé, and they would be the wines they gave to the staff. We've developed a lot like that, and rosé is actually one of the most popular wines on earth now.
Absolutely.
Incredibly, in fact, the fastest growing. I think.
And it's quite refined compared to 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah. So
ours again is very dry.
Yep, very dry, very light. We like to keep it that light colour, and a beautiful rosé. Great for the summer, and great with this brie here.
Yeah, it pairs beautifully with brie.
It's like a strawberries and cream kind of
Oh my goodness.
thing.
Well, it smells like strawberries.
A dry strawberries and cream.
Yeah, surprising. Are people surprised when they see a pink drink and it smells like berries, but it's dry?
I think more so 10 years ago. Now people
we kind of figured it out.
Yeah, rosé, as I say, is one of the most popular wines out there now. It really is. But I've got to say, I'm always a little scared it's going to be sweet when I try one.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Just look at that center.
I'm not doing a very good job of my cutting now. So this is a nice old batch. You can see how it's getting nice and creamy in the middle there.
Oh, wow. And that comes from aging?
Yeah. This is a nice old batch of cheese.
So does the center just get, the external get firmer, or?
It gets softer. You can see that paste in the middle getting a little softer. If we let that warm up, you can see it's getting a little soft there.
It's going to come like just bulging and running.
So we had cut it in half that way, put chocolate in it, baked it in the oven, served it with strawberries and everything. It was just so sweet. There you go. So a little bit of wine, a little bit of cheese.
So if people wanted to do this at home, can they order any of your wines online?
Absolutely, order them. Yep.
And the cheese as well?
Penticton.ca, cheese and wine.
Okay.
Cheese and wine online, anytime. No, we ship. Generally, if something's going out with cheese and wine in it, we ship it FedEx overnight, so it gets to you very quickly.
Okay.
Wine alone, obviously, we can take a little bit longer.
Probably the best way to do it would be to hold a frequent party and join your wine club, because the wine and the cheese already paired will come to me.
You could do that.
How often?
4 times a year.
4 times a year, okay. And what if I needed more? Can I just order it online?
You can add to your order, or you can order on time.
Okay.
We just shipped out our club shipment, and we switched to a new system, so it's working nice and easy, and people are loving it. Just ordering all the time.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, well, 6 wines and 3 cheeses go out 4 times a year. Well, 6 wines and 3 cheeses going out 4 times a year. So party in a box.
It is. Oh my goodness! I could have all of my friends over. And
You could.
We could play this game.
We could give you a little.
Take a sip.
Yeah.
Take a
Give
bite.
Permission to sign new members up.
There you go.
I want that.
We have one group member. They're a member of their cheese. We had started a cheese club, and it just got so big.
Okay.
That we just had to shut it down.
Oh, wow.
That scared me. It scared me. So
Yeah.
we kept one lady on because she was from the beginning,
Mm.
and she was like as she walked in the door first day, and she was sold. So she joined this club, and comes and picks up her cheese, and her daughter always shows up at her house, but she was wondering why my daughter's always showing up to get my cheese shipment. She's coming for the cheese. Does Mom share?
Does she not?
No.
Oh.
So we let the daughter in the same club so that she
Oh.
can get her cheese as well.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Nancy and Hillary, and they're awesome. They're awesome.
Nancy and Hillary,
Yeah,
in from
yeah.
the beginning.
And from the beginning, and they'll try anything I make.
Wow.
If I make a cheese and ask them to try it,
Okay.
they're in.
Is there a standard way of making a brie?
Brie is really one of the funnest cheeses to one of the most busy but fun cheese that we make.
Okay.
So we bring our milk in from Dutchman Dairy, and they're out of Sigmus. So they deliver it Wednesday morning, and we process it into cheese that day. So milk comes off the truck, it goes into our vat, it gets heated up, we add cultures to it, it then ages for a little bit, then we add our a coagulant, and we use an enzyme. So it's a vegetarian rennet that we use, and that sits for a bit, and then we cut the curd and we separate curds from whey. Pack that into molds. Takes us a good 8 hours to make a batch of cheese, maybe a little bit over 8 hours, depends on how the day goes. And then we put them away. We salt them the next day, and then we start flipping them. And it's that, and they need some encouragement. Brie loves attention. It's like I equate cheese making to like raising children or raising animals, or even your plants at your house or gardens, like whatever passion and love that you put into that product, it's going to be that much better. Attention you give your kids, they're going to be that much better human beings.
So
I believe that. So we love our cheese and we baby it. So the brie gets flipped twice a week for a few weeks, and then we wrap it and it's ready to go.
Almost sounds like you're riddling the cheese.
Yeah, you are.
Flip it, flip it, flip it. Nothing's moving. Flip it, flip it. Oh, it's such a beautiful brie.
It likes to get air. Air helps to get everything going, and temperatures and humidity, all that stuff is factors. So we have 3 caves in our back, and our plant is about 800 square feet. It's a very small plant, but we can do about, the most we did was about 6,600 kilograms a year. So we
That's
averaged
an awful lot.
4,500 kilograms of cheese last year.
That sounds like an incredible amount for a small producer.
It's a good amount.
Yeah.
It's about it's a couple hundred kilograms of dry curd every week.
Yeah, I can't even
It's a good
imagine that.
Good amount of work.
Yes, that sounds like you're very,
But
very
love it.
busy.
Yeah.
You said wine caves, or cheese caves. Is that just a
Just a
word?
room.
Just a room. Okay. And it's called a cave because that's what.
Well, traditionally it would have been kept in the cave in
Okay.
somewhere cool, but no.
So we've imported the word cave into.
Yeah.
It's a room that's cool and dark.
Yes.
Or
Cool,
okay.
dark, and
Sort of
wet.
like a cellar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very much
exactly like a
cellar.
cellar.
All right. Okay.
But maybe way more humid. Like thank you.
Oh, we keep our humidity high.
Oh yes.
Oh, you
But like a cave
Gonna
would
have
be, really.
relinquish this?
I mean, you're welcome to keep it.
Well, no, I should
You can
give
stick
it
on
up.
the shelf behind you.
Okay.
Screw it a bit.
You balanced?
Stick it on the
Okay.
shelf behind.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amy.
Stash it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hey? And you get all your milk from Dutchman Dairy? Oh, that's so nice. I love those guys.
Very local, yeah.
Yeah, happy cows.
Cows. Cows.
Yeah, that's a fun place to stop if you're coming into the Okanagan. Just
They are so busy. They are
Yeah.
so busy there.
so busy, but you can get some of the best ice cream in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have Dutchman Dairy in our
Yeah,
ice
in our
cream
fridge.
in our fridge.
Oh yeah,
Freezer, yeah.
you've got to because it's our local, one of our local gems really. I'm impressed that you're getting your milk from there because it can't be the cheapest.
It is. I pay a lot of money. I pay more money for my milk than anybody does in the shops. We pay a good
Yeah, 'cause
amount of money.
it's-
It's standard. It's standardized milk, so it's not. It's pasteurized, but it's not
Okay.
homogenized.
Oh.
So it's full fat. He
Okay,
makes
and
the-
it will come apart.
And it's gorgeous.
Wow.
Yeah, it does. It will come apart for you.
Nice.
So you do it right away.
Oh, holy moly, what is this?
This is 2021 Merlot.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's known for Merlot. He's probably
Yeah,
made
I
more
made a lot of
Merlot than
Merlot in
anyone
my
Oh,
else.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. So tell me about your Merlot.
Well, this is actually, I'm going to say entry-level Merlot. It comes from vineyards sourced up and down the Naramata bench here. We do make a Merlot called our estate Merlot that's purely from our own grapes here. But we're doing this one today, which is a slightly lighter Merlot.
Okay.
What we do is we pick the grapes. We'll then cold soak them. We'll crush them together, if you like. Okay. And then let them sit somewhere cold for up to 5 days. And then we'll add yeast. Okay. In fact, to be honest, most of the time we don't add yeast. Most of the time the grapes the wild yeast kick in. Oh, nice. And we let them go as much as we possibly can. Okay. And which is, to be honest, 90% of the time right the way through.
Really? Because that's always seemed to me to be such a big risk for the people with the wild ferments and things. Yeah, I mean, they've got to be fed well. Okay, yeah.
They've got to get all the nutrients. They need all the nutrients. To be honest, it could also be that there's so much yeast in a building that amounts up over the years. Right. That we're actually saying it's natural yeast on the vines, but it could actually be natural yeast from the
just ambient.
Ambient yeast, if you like. So it is. So, but some of them we do actually start off outside, which makes you believe that they're.
I believe in it.
Vineyards. Yes.
Whatever.
So anyway, we'll let it go then, and then depending on the heat that ferment creates will depend on how fast the wine will go through and actually to ferment to dry.
Oh wow.
Typically with a red wine we're looking at about 5 days of ferment, and then we'll actually press it off just before it goes dry. And then it'll go to barrel. Well, actually, it'll settle out in a tank first, so all the sediment settles on the bottom, and then what's left will be racked off. The liquid will be racked off into barrels where it will sit. So we let a wine settle out. So the sediment or the vegetal particle or whatever, it settles out to the bottom, leaving
skins and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, it's been pressed, so it's more dead yeast cells and everything else than anything else. It's a bit like a sort of mush on the bottom. All right. That'll settle out over a couple of days, leaving a clear wine, red wine on top. Now, racking it means we take that clear wine off the top without disturbing the mush on the bottom. Because as soon as we disturb it, it gets mixed back in. Right. Now, racking can be done with pumps, can be done in various ways. We actually siphon.
Okay, so that's siphoning off the top.
Siphoning off the top.
Right.
And we actually do rack barrels like that. We'll actually siphon one barrel to another.
Oh, okay.
Because then after that gets siphoned into the barrels, it stays in barrels for about 18 months. And every 3 or 4 months we'll rack that barrel. So basically we'll empty that barrel into another barrel, leaving again the sediment on the bottom. Barrel gets cleaned. Next barrel goes into it. So why does that happen?
Why do you want to do that? That seems like a lot of busy.
There are lots of reasons why we want to do that.
Yeah, tell me about that.
One is to get the sediment out of it, and also one is to get the sediment out of the bottom, and the other way is to actually add air to the wine as we do it. Wine, if it's stuck in a barrel for too long, can go reductive. It gets rubbery kind of nose to it. It's not totally. It's quite unpleasant. I mean, it will come back as long as air is introduced, but by racking barrels, we actually empty one barrel into another through a hose. Okay. And we actually let it fall through the air into the barrel. So it's actually picking up air. Okay. So winemaking is a bit of a tricky business. Everyone says you can't have air, but you have to have a certain amount of air as well. You see, there's like in everything else in life, has to be a balance.
So how do you manage to know all this stuff and run a business at the same time?
Well,
like, do you feel like your brain is going to break?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I did all this for many, many years. Okay. I run the business and have a winemaker that helps me do everything at the winemaking side, because I found very early in this business you can't make wine and run the business, because you can't run a pump and answer a phone.
You have been making wine with Joshua, our winemaker. He was our very first employee at
Poplar Grove.
We ever had. They have done more than 20.
We did 20 seasons.
We did
vintages together. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you guys share a brain.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Not
but
that
we
far?
understand how each other wants things done.
Okay, okay. I sense every now and then there's disagreements.
No, not disagreements. just very
certainly not.
Yeah.
We never disagree over wine.
No, he makes fabulous wines. Absolutely fabulous wines.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Very good
it's good to have somebody you work really copacetic with.
Yeah, as I say, I worked with him at Poplar Grove, and I probably did about 4 or 5 vintages there with him, and then I went off somewhere else and came back, and he needed a job, and he came on with me. And
That's
so that was in 2011. So I mean, just with us here, he's done 13 vintages. That's it, 12 vintages.
What's the year on this?
21.
21.
New release.
It's
We sell them year to
amazing,
year. We
amazing.
sell it year to
I can
year.
see why. Like your Merlot is different than other people's.
I know.
Trying to identify why. It's delicious. It's amazing.
I try to keep the fruit as
Minimal.
well. I don't like it. There's minimal intervention, so it actually tastes as much like it really does, rather than trying to
Yep.
force it to take something I want it to taste like.
Mm-hmm.
But we also grow. We've done it. Joshua and I have done this for a long time, and we know how to grow them. We know how to pick them to get the flavors we want.
Oh, it's so fantastic. Okay, tell us about the
So
cheese
this
that we're
cheese is Moody Cow.
Moody Cow.
Moody Cow. Don't
Okay.
you just love the name?
I love the name.
I love the name as well.
Hello, Moody Cow.
Yeah, that was the original name of my business.
Really?
So it's a good fit.
Moody Cow.
So this
That's
is
funny.
This is a combination of, so we make 3 different blue cheeses. We make a really, really traditional Stilton style blue cheese. The only difference between that and a real Stilton is I don't seal my rind anymore. So I used to seal the rind. So Stiltons are actually about this high, and our hoops are the thing you put the curd in
Okay.
to shape the cheese.
All
Ours
right.
are about this high. The cheese ends up being about that high, and we cut them in half. So what you're seeing in the deli display is only half this width of that
Okay.
particular
I understand.
round cheese.
Huh.
So he's a very dry cheese, and our other side is a really soft blue cheese, just
Okay.
like a brie, but it's a blue cheese. So it's blue on the outside and just the white, beautiful paste on the inside, and it's called Grey Baby.
Okay.
So the Moody Cow is a combination of the king cole
and the Grey Baby.
and the Grey Baby. So I wanted like the outside of it to be soft, and in the top I wanted to have a little bit of veining. So there's a technique that we use here to get the 2 different variances in the same piece of cheese. So he's lovely blue, and he will pair perfectly with a Merlot.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So if you like more of a blue, then go for the vein. If you like less of the blue but still a blue flavor, the paste is, you're still going to get that flavor.
Okay. All right. Well, do us the honor of cutting this gorgeous piece. Oh, a volunteer. Oh, my.
And he is again perfectly right. He's
Oh, wow.
He's made the end of the season last year. He's just perfect.
Oh, cheese on the floor. It's a sad moment. Wow, that moves the Merlot, doesn't it?
You can taste the milk in that.
Yeah, absolutely. You can taste the happiness of the cows.
Yeah, I mean it does bring it, but it emphasizes the fruit flavors, doesn't it?
Wow, the fruit
It
and
really brings it.
just rounds it too.
Yeah.
And the cheese becomes more creamy. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so Moody Cow.
Moody Cow, and they're made in
Merlot.
big rounds as well. They're about two and a bit, just a little over 2 kilograms, and we slice them up and sell them here in our shop, and we sell them online. So if you go to up onto our website, you'll see we have a shop, so you can buy our wines, you can buy our cheese.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. I feel like if I lived in a different part of the country, I would feel very sad if I couldn't get this. But you can ship across Canada.
We ship across. Yep.
All right.
We've shipped to Halifax overnight before
We have.
to meet deadlines as well.
Well.
We have club members in PEI.
Oh, my
yeah.
goodness.
We have a very, very good. I'm not going to name any names. He knows who he is, but they're awesome.
So if he's watching, it's like,
hopefully-
yeah, that's
I'll
me.
tell him, and he'll be on here.
But we won't say your name.
No, we won't.
Because people will come to your house
Yes,
looking
they
for
will.
cheese.
Say, hey, we heard you got to order it.
Yeah, I hear there's
Share
cheese
with the
here.
other PEIers.
All right, we're ready for the next one. Thank you, Daniel. I'm just amazed with this.
Get some big
Do you want to carry around cheese on your shoe? I can tip this over. Okay, I'm just clearing out of the space. Wow, now this is beautiful. Here, I'm gonna just grab this from you while Daniel's setting up and pouring. Do you want to talk about this cheese?
Sure.
Here, we can move this out. Yeah, so tell us what we have here.
The cheese at the. Do you want Gav to do the wine first? Or do you?
Don't have to, since he's not in the frame.
Okay.
You can talk.
This last cheese that we are going to pair with the Riesling. This is a spectacular cheese because it pairs with a white wine and a red wine. So it's probably one of the few cheeses that we have, one of the only cheeses that we have here that we can also do a red and a white wine with. I think the Pinot Noir would probably be able to do a Pinot Noir with the sun and the sun with the Chard maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's more the fact that the red wine, the big red wines, the Bordeaux, don't go with anything else but the blue cheese.
Okay.
Yeah,
They're too overpowering.
They're too overpowering for it. So what we always used to do when we started pairing the King Cole here was to always pair it with the red wine. And then one day someone said to him, well, what would pair well with the Riesling? And I thought about it, and King Cole would pair really well with the Riesling. So what we did here was get a little treat going to see what so we've got the altitude here,
That's
which is
so
our
fun.
flagship red wine, along
All
with
right.
the Riesling here, to see which. Well, I'm not going to say one might go better, but to see the difference and how they
It's
complement
amazing.
them, and one will be an opposite.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'm
So this is
excited to try this.
This is our signature cheese, our King Cole blue cheese, which is a Stilton. I love this cheese. This is named after my family. From, like I said, I was from Nova Scotia. My dad's family, half were Kings, half were Coles. I put the name together, and
King Cole.
this cheese has as much personality as my dad did. So love this cheese. Love my dad, and he's gorgeous. So this actual batch was made in August of last year. He's beautiful. He's creamy. He's nice and bold and full of flavor, but not an acidic blue. I don't really like blues, like when you eat a blue cheese and it feels like you're taking half of your taste buds off, and it's so acidic that it's like
I know
this
what you mean.
is a more of a milder, still super full of flavor, super creamy. We make him, it takes us 2 days to make him, 2 or 3 days to make him. So we put all the milk in the vat. Again, we add our cultures, that sits for a bit. Then we add our coagulant, which is again an enzyme, a microbial enzyme. That sits for a bit. Then we cut the curd, and then we stir that curd, and we leave that curd in the vat overnight because we really want to structure our curd, as you can see.
Right.
It has the nice, beautiful veining in that. And then the next day we mill it, which is the process of breaking up the solid mass of curd into smaller pieces.
Okay.
And then we add salt to that, and then we put it back together. And where the salt touches air, touches curd, that's where you actually see the veins. That's what makes the veins. So he's beautifully veined, and he's going to be so gorgeous. I'm very excited. So which are we going to do, with white and then the red? Or are we just going
Whichever way
to
you want.
throw
Yeah,
caution to the wind and everybody just
I
does
think
their
I'll probably do red first, then white.
Red
to be
first,
honest.
then
All right,
okay.
red, and then palate cleanse with the.
Yeah.
And we've got,
Gav can talk about the wines.
yeah, let's hear about the wines. So this is a blend.
First of all, yes, we've got the Altitude. Altitude's our flagship Bordeaux blend. 75% Cabernet Sauvignon, 25% Merlot, and all from our estate vineyards just behind us here, on our upper bench. We started making this in 2015. It was I'm not going to say it was a mistake, but it was just we've got some of this, and some really nice Cabernet Sauvignon left over.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
Right.
Threw it together, and it sat in the warehouse for the longest time.
Wow.
And we had a chap called Bill Grant working here, And he said, well, Gavin, someone told me you got a really nice blend in the warehouse. It's just that's just sitting there. He said, can I sell it? I said, well, you can sell it, but I haven't got any labels because I don't know what it's called.
Right.
It was hard to come up with a name.
Yeah,
wasn't
it was. It's actually really hard. Anything you can think of has already been done.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Or anyway. So I said, well, if you can think of something, then we'll put a label on it. And so he came back 2 days later and said, altitude.
Okay.
It comes from high up on your vineyard and all these
Yeah,
other things.
yeah.
And it's the highest wine.
Okay.
So yes, so
He was very well
he
well
was.
rewarded for
Yes.
his
Yeah.
contribution.
Oh,
to
good.
So Bill named Altitude, and after
job,
that,
Bill.
and it's become our flagship. It was actually in the early days more Merlot than Cabernet Sauvignon. But
Okay.
we brought it back to be an estate wine, so just purely off on our own. We didn't buy any grapes from it after a while, and then we actually have way more Cabernet Sauvignon than we do Merlot. So
Wow.
and as the years are getting hotter, that seems to work quite well for it.
Oh well, yeah.
Yes.
So the upside.
Yeah. So this is actually, and to be honest, it's my favourite of all the reds we make.
Oh wow. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
folks. Mm.
Don't
Judging
put
by
that
her
in.
reaction. Oh my goodness, that's good. She says. Mm. Oh my goodness, that's good.
Oh my goodness, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, red wine and Bordeaux blends is kind of my passion. If it was white, it would be Riesling too. So this is a very nice conclusion to the little chat.
Oh my goodness. Okay, people can just watch us
Yeah.
like crying about how good this is. Yeah, the combination.
Mm.
So now I have doubts that the Riesling can keep up.
Well, let's do that because
Oh yeah.
take the tough thumper or whatever it is.
Here. Thump thump.
Chomp thumper? What do you say?
Plump thumper.
Um,
Guacamole.
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 If you dip it in avocado, it's guacamole.
So now we have some more blue cheese cup.
That's all I have in the moment.
5 places might be too much.
We're making new words.
Yeah. So yes, let's try it. See what you think. See what you think with the blue with the
Get
with
into
the
that.
Riesling.
Oh wow. How long will this Riesling age?
A long time. I mean, it's this is last year's. This is 2022. So we'll be bringing another the 2023s on very soon. What I tend to find is that after about a year, they start getting that sort of telltale petrol-y, diesel-y notes, which I love. There's almost, well, we keep about 7 to 8 grams of residual sugar on it, so it's not a sweet Riesling by any means, but there is a little bit of an edge. There's enough sugar to take the
Yeah.
edge off the
Yep.
amount of acid.
You can find a little bit of that petrol sitting in
Yeah,
there.
just now, because
Yeah.
it's just getting to that year
Yeah,
old.
yeah, and stone fruit.
I'm really getting the petrol though, I really am. And I was wondering, was it because it was the wine or was it because we had the cheese first and did that bring that out?
It's the wine just starting
I
to go
haven't tried the
decently
cheese
better.
yet. Yeah, just an edge of it. Wow,
So what do you think of the?
it holds up.
It does, eh?
That's an amazing cheese. It can go either way, red or white.
You like something that goes either way.
Then all your friends are happy at one time. Not hard to make everybody happy if you have the right cheese. But it's hard to find the right cheese. All right, well. Beautiful.
So any preference?
Mm.
They're very different, aren't they?
They are so different. And this is the gorgeous Riesling. I don't know, I really love this though. This and the cheese together
Yeah.
is sublime. Yeah,
It is really
like
hard
she
to
said,
tell, though.
oh my goodness, it's so good.
It is hard to pick. You wanna
Yeah,
get
it
glass
is
to
really
try.
hard. Afterwards. You really need to, since we've chopped up the cheese.
We'll find a use for it, don't we?
Okay. Oh, Renee always needs to try the yum, yum, yum. Yeah, and I think I'm going to buy a bottle of that for your sister for her birthday. Alrighty. So we're at the end of our time. Thank you so much. You've been so
Very
gracious,
welcome.
generous
Thank
with
you
your
for coming
time and
in.
knowledge. And thank you for watching. And thank you, Daniel, for all your help. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.